Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby preview for New Zealand versus England. Boys, I did do a preview last weekend, and I think it was about 20 minutes long or something. And when I threw it in the editing software, I saw, listen, all sound is cut out. It is absolutely demoralizing. I was like, I'm not filming this again. But hopefully it works out this weekend. I pray for times like that where everything just works out. Anyway, 1-0 to New Zealand. Brilliant game of rugby. Proper test match game of rugby. Scoreline reflected the game, not necessarily in who should have won the game. It could have gone either way, but it was a 1-point game. And now we're moving on to the second test. And it's in Auckland. It's in Eden Park. It's at Eden Park, which is a fortress. Okay, obviously the longest piece of rugby heritage. New Zealand don't lose at Eden Park. Like, you kind of want to give England a bit of hope, especially with their performance that they put up. But yeah, we're going to look at some of the teams. Obviously, look at some of the history between the two teams. See where each and every one of them can get advantages in this game, and then make an official prediction. And if you're like me and you like putting your money where your mouth is, there is a little link in my bio. If you want to do it the easy way, just click the link, sign up on BETWAY, or you can download the app and use the reference casual. Now, do it responsibly, but if you do like doing stuff like that there is a link for you. Let me just say it like that. Anyway, without any further ado, let's look at the lineups for the All Blacks. Starting off with the All Blacks in the 1-2-3, we've got Ethan de Groot, Cody Taylor, Tyrell Lomax. No surprises there whatsoever. They have been doing the job since Joe Schmidt has come in. They're absolutely brilliant. I love the way that the All Blacks pack has picked up, and they've got that physicality. They've always had the flair. They've always had the good loosies. But now they've got the scrum as well, which makes them so dangerous. And we saw the pressure that the All Blacks put on England, especially at the start of the game. So no surprises there. Scott Barrett, captain. Patrick Tuipulotu. I said it last weekend. Obviously, the video didn't come out. But I'm so happy they went with Scott Barrett instead of Ori Savea. Just because I think Ori Savea is one of those players, kind of the same as Ibn Etzebeth, where it's like you don't give them extra responsibility. You tell them, listen, you're not captain. You just go out there, you smash people, you make the game dirty, you score tries, and you try and be the best player in the world. That's what he should focus on. That's exactly what the role they've put on him. They've put him as vice captain as well. But I'm just happy they went with Scott Barrett. Obviously, Scott Barrett, brilliant player. Top 3 locks in the world by a country mile. He's just so good. Patrick Tuipulotu coming off a brilliant Super Rugby season for him. So, no surprises there. Sammy Penny now, Dalton Papali, Ori Savea. Can you go wrong with that? I mean, absolutely brilliant. I don't need to add anything to the quality that they have there. Dalton Papali with the Blues, captaining them as well, coming off Super Rugby victories. Ori Savea, who's by a country mile the best player in the world, in my opinion. And he has been for years. I've said it multiple times, even when New Zealand was struggling like 2 years ago. That guy was he stood out as the best player on the pitch every single time. He's just that good. Moving into the back line, Finlay Christie with Damian McKenzie. Obviously tough for TJ Perenara. Just came back from injury, had a proper season with the Hurricanes. Brilliant season for him. And then gets injured in his first international game back. Hopefully it's not too serious. I haven't seen any news. I don't know if it's serious or not. But obviously a knee injury never looks good. But no surprises that Finlay Christie takes up that position. Damian McKenzie in the 10 position. I'm not surprised. Maybe I would have preferred Beauden Barrett, but I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is that 15 jersey after last weekend is secured for Stephen Perofeta because he was absolutely scintillating. Jordie Barrett, Rico Ioane, probably the best centre pairing in the world, if not the best, one of the best. Jordie Barrett slots into every position on the field. He's physical. He doesn't miss tackles. He's creative. And he puts Rico Ioane through gaps. Who's got the gas. He can literally create something out of absolute thin air. Moving on to the back three, Mark Taleo is probably the best player, the best wing in the world. Literally, the guy can stand still and it's almost impossible to tackle him. Like, I never see this guy get tackled by the first player. I don't know if it's just me, but he's absolutely brilliant. Severies coming off a great season with the Crusaders. Obviously, they struggled, but he was still one of the top try scorers. Comes back, first game back, scores another try in the corner as well. And then, obviously, I just mentioned Stephen Perofeta, who was absolutely... He was so calm, cool and collected, created the first try. He's just a brilliant player. He was absolutely brilliant last weekend. Going onto the bench, I do not know everyone on the bench to be... Well, I know most people, but I don't know Asafu Amua. My apologies for the pronunciation. I'm not too... clued up on him, but obviously then you've got the big boy Ofa Tuangafasi coming off, and then Fletcher Neal with the experience. I'm so looking forward to Tomaiti Williams also coming back, because then you've got utter big boys at scrum time as well. Going on, Tupuvai can slot into the lock position or into the flanker position, whatever you choose. Luke Jacobson as well. Cortez Ratama making his debut. Great season for the Chiefs as well. I think it was Ella Ferguson on TikTok that said, wild shout is maybe that Ratama starts in that 9 jersey. Let me know if you guys maybe would have wanted to see that. Looking forward to seeing him. Anton Leonard-Brown coming off the bench, and then obviously Bowden Barrett. And the big thing is, like we spoke about, who's taking that 10 position, Damien McKenzie or Bowden, and then which one of those two is taking the fullback position. But now it's kind of both of them are only fighting for the 10 position, because Stephen Perofeta, if he keeps up the way that he played last weekend, he's not going anywhere. Like, you can forget about it. And then obviously you have Will Jordan coming back. So that is such... It's healthy competition that for positions, and that's what you kind of want as a team. Moving on to the English team, starting off with the front row, I think they've got one change. Finn Baxter comes in for Joe Marler, who's injured. He went off in the previous game. Jamie George, captain. Will Stewart. They'll have their work cut out for them. Okay, I'm not trying to be biased towards New Zealand or anything, but that New Zealand scrum is way stronger than the English scrum. If I was England, just say, listen, we just got to stand still in this thing. Just put everything in it just to stand still. Moving into the locks, brilliant lock pairing. Mario Torje's got in his form back. He was great for Saracens as well. George Martin, a young guy that looks about 35. I think he's like 22, 23 or something. Might be even 21. Brilliant player. Really, Borthwick has really put his trust in him, and you can see it. He's a great lock, great player. And then moving into the back three. And if you compare the back three of these two teams, it is quality. Cunningham South, Chandler Cunningham South, brilliant game. Probably the best player on the field, in my opinion, last weekend. He was absolutely scintillating. Sam Underhill, kind of after the 2019 World Cup, he dropped off, in my opinion. But since Borthwick has backed him, said, listen, game after game, we're going to give you time to fit into the system. He's gotten so good. He looks back into form, that 2019 form, like that 7 jersey is on lockdown by him. So massive for him. Ben Earl in the 8 position, standout player, absolutely brilliant. Massive game for him as well. He's been doing it now for a while. I heard of him the first time in the World Cup, and I thought, this guy is brilliant. He is brilliant. Moving on to the back line, Alex Mitchell. He is key. The way that he's so quick at the breakdown, he's by a country mile the best line in this team. 10 position, Marcus Smith, and I said it in the previous video with Rose, I said, if you take away the kicks, I thought he had a great game. On-field play, he had a very, very good game. It just gives you such an attacking threat. So I love this combination. It works beautifully. Moving on to the centres, Ollie Lawrence, Henry Slade, same as last weekend. They will have the work cut out for them, especially in defence. They are massive when it comes to the rush defence. Felix Jones, we saw it with South Africa as well. Our centres made a ton of tackles. These guys will make a ton of tackles. If New Zealand has that ball, rush defence. There you go. And they did it brilliantly last weekend. I thought that was some of the best defensive work that I've seen in a very long time. They were absolutely brilliant in defence, England, and they'll have their work cut out for them again. And then the wings, Tommy Freeman, Emmanuel Faye-Waboso. Freeman had a good game. Waboso, what a breakthrough season this guy's had. He's so talented. Like I said, it's tough to tackle Mark Telea, but it's also tough to tackle Waboso. The guy just has insane leg work, like his drive, even though he just carries players backwards when he has the ball. brilliant. George Furbank, standout performer last weekend, really got stuck in there. I didn't think he's the most physical 15 in the world, and then he just completely shut me up last weekend with his performance. Very, very strong first 15. Moving on to the bench, Theo Dan, Bevan Rod, Dan Cole. I'm not too sure of most of them. All that I know is Dan Cole's old. It's basically all that I know. Anyway, Alex Coles, Tom Curry, got to get onto the field and not concede a penalty. He did it against Japan. He's done it again. He has to fix up on that discipline. Obviously, he's coming back from injury. Playing the All Blacks, you've got your work cut out. I know I've said that a couple of times, but massive game for him. Ben Spencer on the bench. I know Rose mentioned she wants to see Harry Randall. I don't know Ben Spencer. I don't know Harry Randall. Finn Smith, very excited to see him. I would like to see him get a bit more minutes than he did last weekend. I don't think he played too much, but I think this guy's quality. He was so vital for Saints in winning the Prem, so he's got to be in there. And then Ollie Slido as well. Massive for Saints as well. Big winger. I would say give Freeman about 50 minutes and then you bring on Ollie Slido. Just a juggernaut of a guy, tough to bring down. Anyway, that's the two teams. Let me know if you're happy with the New Zealand team, whether you're happy with the English team. Let's look at some of the history. We'll just go back to the past 3 games. Obviously, 3 games ago, 2019, Yokohama Stadium, semi-final, 19-7, probably one of the best technical displays you'll ever see on the rugby field, where England beat New Zealand, played them off the park, to be fair, under Eddie Jones. Game after that, 2022, 25 all draw. New Zealand was so far in front and then conceded like 3 tries in the last 10 minutes. And then obviously the previous time they played was in Dunedin, 16-15 for the All Blacks. And I think that was a massive game for New Zealand. I've said it a couple of times where it's like, if England were to win one of the games, it will have to be that first game. Like, try and catch New Zealand while they're cold, while the chemistry isn't flowing, new coaching staff and everything. But I just think New Zealand's going to get better and better and better. And especially when you give them the confidence of saying, listen, okay, you're playing it at Eden Park, it's massive for them. And that victory last weekend, even though they were struggling, it's such a big confidence booster. And that's why I've got New Zealand to win this game. I'm going with New Zealand to win this game by just 3 points. I think it will still be a tight game, but I think they will look so much better than they did last weekend. Obviously, I said if England get that rush defence right again, they kick their penalties, they can make it very tough. Obviously, this New Zealand team, massive for them, will still be that scrum time. Get that physical dominance, get your set pieces moving, and then you can cause absolute chaos and you can put a couple of points past England. But I wouldn't write off England whatsoever in this game. I do think it will be an absolute test match and a half again. I'm kind of in 2 minds whether there's going to be a bunch of points or just once again like a 30-point game. I'm going with it to be a tight game as well. I think both teams' defence will be ready. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 16-15. I'm going with the 18-15 points to New Zealand on this one. I'm not too sure. It's up in the air, but it's one of those things. That is the official prediction. As I said, if you want to put your own money, put your prediction in. Let me know what your predictions are for this game. As I said, link in bio, or you can download the BETWAY app and have some fun there, but gamble responsibly. Thank you very much. See you next time.